Good morning, everybody. Um, if you would like, you could turn on your camera so we can visually connect. But otherwise, you could keep it off. But so we have around 63 students, and maybe more coming. But I will begin with a kind of introduction to School of Architecture to you guys. My name is Patrick Hwang. I am the director of the undergraduate program. With me today are professors Thomas Chung
Hello.
and Mo, which will join us later. And Candice is also here with us, helping us. So it's a special day today, October 10. It's a 10/10/2020. I'm here to introduce you to the school. I'm going to show some slides. Um, okay, I hope you can see the screen. All right. So you are here probably because you're interested in finding out more about architecture. So we've organized the talk in 4 chapters to give you a kind of sketch picture of our school. And I will kind of go through it with you, kind of like maybe a storytelling. And hopefully we will entice you into joining us in the future. So normally this talk will be given in the school. But in this special occasion, we're doing it in the virtual space. So this is our school. It was built in 2012, or it was starting to be used in 2012. So it's a building that's designed specifically for the study of architecture. It is also one of the only such building in Hong Kong, catered, designed, and built for the study of architecture. So we are very privileged to call this place our home. Other than having beautiful spaces to study, to work in, we also have some of the latest technologies, equipments, and resources, including an architectural library in the building, in the school. However, a school is much more than a building. It is a way of thought, as captured by this wonderful quote by our former director, Essie Benyasat, that the place of study is not one particular building, it is the world at large. And this is a kind of idea that that we have installed into the program and the ethos of the school. So as an educator, I am mindful of the need to provide not only a window for the students to see out into the world, to acquire the skills and knowledge and experiences brand new to them, but also to ensure that we provide mirrors within the school to enable our students to discover their inner selves. So this notion is reflected in what we do, where people are engaged in thematic discussions, working, debating, and sharing ideas. So this is a photo taken in what we call the design studio, where students and teachers get together and discuss, debate, and talk about ideas regarding design. We often engage in this practice that we call the critique, in which conversation goes on. A more experienced teacher, architect, or consultant would give live feedbacks to students. There's often exhibitions in which the work is displayed and shared with the public. And as I said, the school is about providing windows to the world. So we offer a number of occasions where students can expand their reach to beyond. So including summer programs and construction opportunities, field trips, workshops that are outside of Hong Kong. So here are some of the recent locations in which the visits took place. There are number of opportunities to engage with the outside world, whether it is in Hong Kong, in the city, away from where we are here in Sha Tin, or way beyond to Venice, to India, where we go and conduct exchanges with educators and experts outside of our everyday sort of environments. Sometimes there are field trips, study trips, other times it's engaging in design competitions, such as in this kind of FAB workshop, where student enters their schemes and they would go and construct it on site. There are also exchange programs with a number of first-year universities around the world, where undergraduate and graduate students can tap into and take the opportunity to do most of the time a one-semester exchange. Sometimes it's conducted within the university connections. Other times it's directly within the School of Architecture. And these are all sort of top tier universities, such as Columbia, Harvard, the Cooper Union, etc. And there are a number of scholarships that are available where students can apply, and these are many of these are traveling scholarships in which students are given the opportunity to go aboard for a few months sometimes to learn and study a topic of his or her interests. Now, the place and events are incomplete without people and their identities. So we don't have a very long history, but in the short 30 years, we have established a kind of identity as one of the places that are concerned with the community, with people. So we're not only interested in architecture's power in shaping the forms of the world, but also in the ways in which communities could be nurtured by architecture. Right? So here are like a picture taken from one of our early graduating classes. So what do I mean by that? Our professors, alumni, and students are actively engaged in design projects for the good of the people. Here is one example where Professor Edward Ng, seismic design, basically a house that can resist high levels of earthquake. Were awarded one of the top building awards. So whether the professors are working in remote areas, rural areas, helping the underprivileged, such as these examples, or with Professor Chung's work to create a place of interaction, of engagement through sustainable farming and socialization. The premise is very much based on people. Right. So other faculties are interested in how to engage with the public realm through tactical architecture, working with public spaces such as these. So the interest in society and helping the underprivileged continues with our graduates. Sarah Marie, one of our former students, alumni, closely working with architecture to help with the community. Others, Allison Chen of Project Little Dream, working in Cambodia to build schools for remote village children, things like that. Okay. Our students' design has been recognized in world competitive competitions, and that's kind of who we are, what we are about. So what do you, so what would you study? What would you be studying if you were to attend our program? So as I mentioned before, we are a school of architecture with a school of thoughts. Okay, and as such, we are not only interested in skill training, but also to nurture critical thinking and self-discovery. So the program looks something like this. In the most simplistic way, we begin with the explore years of year 1 and 2. Okay, beginning with a kind of general education, liberal arts education, where a universe of ideas and knowledge is available for you to study, and that is combined with Architecture 101, the introduction to architecture. Before arriving at year 2, in which the Explorer year is concentrated in architecture. So you will be learning a whole host of skills in modules, right? You'll be learning how to draw, how to map, how to model, how to cast, how to film, how to do all these things that architects do, these techniques of design, followed by year 3 and 4, in which these prior kind of skills are put together for application through studio analysis, studio build, studio community, and studio develop. And year in between the undergraduate program, which is from year 1 to 4, most of the students would go and do a year of internship. Okay. And many of them who are interested in continue their learning would return to CU and complete a 2-year MArch program. In our new program, this involves a kind of year-long investigation. So when you enroll into the program, there'll be 2 years of year-long program investigating in one of these topics involving social issues or technology issues or environment issues. So going from a kind of broad spectrum into a much more focus and research-oriented MArch program, which we call Innovate. But those are just sort of the the studio, right? Design studio, which is where you learn how to design, but in conjunction with that, there's a set of core courses that are meant to supplement, to complement the design studio that runs in these three streams of humanities, technologies, and communications. So these kind of knowledge then culminate into a kind of a kind of a complete package. Now, just a little bit briefly, I'm running out of time. I'm going to very quickly speak about what you might be learning if you were to join the program. Basically, we'll be combining architectural competence with design imagination as this kind of premise, right, for study. So the idea is to take this idea from the part to the whole, exploring various kind of elements in fragments before combining them in a comprehensive whole, an integrated whole. So which we call it explore, and then Studio A to D. Explore 1 and 2, as I said, covers the basis of drawing, of representation, of imagination. Followed by the first studio, which we call studio analysis, of analyzing, of learning the ways of seeing, of learning how to dissect what one sees. Studio build is about taking that dissection and begin to assemble them together, and to learn about how technology integrates with the design process, how structure is the integral process of design and architecture. These kind of knowledge and skills are then applied into a studio community where further complexity is added because this is where the engagement with community and people are necessary. So very often we're working with programs such as the design of houses or housing. Before this is culminated into a more integrated, sophisticated projects involving outside consultants and experts who would come into our studio and work with our students. Okay, so that hopefully gives you paints you a kind of overall picture of our school. But obviously, the school is much more diverse and much more exciting than what these slides can capture. Okay, so I will be.
Hello, I think Patrick has done his part of the talk, I believe. And I am Thomas, and I'll maybe just very quickly show a couple of slides about the admissions process and main requirements. Let me just ask Candice, is that the arrangement?
Yes, correct.
Okay, but before I start, everyone has got access to other things that we've put on the internet, right? Put on the web, like the video about our school and our school building and so on. Is that right, Candice?
Yes, there is a school tour and then an introduction of our online teaching by Kelly.
Yeah, so all of you guys, you know, who are here, you know about this, right? Candice, they know about all this, the online resources. Okay, so I will just then share a few slides about the admissions process. I think this one you already know, Patrick has talked to you about the 4 years of undergraduate bachelor's studies. And one of our characteristics is also because our School of Architecture is in the social science faculty. So that's why our emphasis on people, social issues, and creative problem solving for society is important and central to our school. Then the undergrad design studios from years 2 to 4, practical experience year out, before you come back to 2 years of Master of Architecture, MArch degree. Okay. And then for bachelor's admissions, this is, okay, I think for JUPAS, we consider the best 5 subjects, either maths M1 or M2, or language, but not both. And our subject weighting is mainly on the English language, 1.5, the weighted 1.5. And I think that these requirements you can also find in our school website and the CUHK University website. Very important, the median score for the best 5 DSE subjects this year, 2020, we are around 26.5. So in 2018, we were up to 28, and 2019, 26, and now around 26.5. So, that's our average score. And I think that there may be, oops, sorry. Yeah, there may be reasons for that. Is we, of course, we value the exam results. Very important they are, and they still play the key part in getting accepted and having a better chance. But in recent years, we have opened up the application process to broaden the kind of approach or reach especially for JUPAS students. So you can send in your design portfolio, and we'll then give you a drawing task. And for JUPAS students, especially around April, May next year, working around your exam times, we'll have an interview workshop where if beforehand you have put us down as band A, then you'll be shortlisted for that. And the detailed requirements for the portfolio and drawing task are on our website. Okay. And the overall schedule is roughly like this. So as you'll be having your mock exams around January, February, we will issue the drawing task online by late February. And yeah, then by March and April, you'll be having your DSE exams. So in early May, after all of your exams, hopefully, then we will have this big interview workshop, which I'll talk about later. And so that you can know much more about our school and our teachers and what it's like studying architecture and actually doing some exercises. So maybe you'll have your final choice by end of May. You can then finalize that before end of July exam results come out. And these are then going through the drawing tasks or the various things for the admissions process. Although this the slides kind of talk about JUPAS candidates, the same exercise is also for the non-JUPAS candidates as well. So the drawing task will be a kind of 1 week take-home exercise where you register and get your task, as it were, online, and then you'll have 1 week to prepare and then submit it. And we'll have these topics or themes that you respond to in different ways of drawing. And these are past examples, responding to past kind of questions, as it were. Favorite setting, favorite destination. It's a place of travel or journey. How to travel from home to school or home to your favorite place. Different ways of showing it in drawing. And I think you can also exercise your own imagination, whether it's drawing or diagram, text or image. And then by early May, the shortlisted Band A candidates will come to our school for an interview workshop where there'll be design exercises, sitting around tables with other candidates, as well as tutors for every small group. We'll have group discussions whilst you make those exercises, make and draw. And you'll also interact with students and teachers and hopefully see our end of year exhibition. So it's kind of, both evaluating your potential and also letting you know much more about our school and experience it. And as Patrick said, right, our school is not only the building, but it's a way of thought. It's a school of thought. And the place starts from our school building, but then extends to the world at large. And that's all. I think all the information is in our website, and go to the bachelor's admissions part, but all the other stuff of our website, Instagram and everything have much more updated news.